it's great to, as always, to have you on the show today. And I want to first of all get your perspective. We already know that budget execution, budget implementation in Nigeria has been a big issue. The National Assembly have been making it more or less a political issue now.
Yes.
But do you think there's much to worry about in the argument that we're seeing in the newspapers today, that the ministries are really not giving us value for money? They are focusing more on some large ticket transactions as opposed to a really broad-based development that Nigeria needs?
Yeah, there is a fact that the ministries do not have the capacity also to execute in an efficient manner. No doubt about that. But more important is the fact that the absorptive capacity of the economy to take in that amount of funds at the same time and execute it efficiently is also in question. So the Ministry of Finance is stressing a due process and to ensure that there's value for money. The ministries, the developments, and the agencies they lack the will, the ability, and the scope to actually execute efficiently. So, in some cases, we've seen things like the Ministry of Transport. Look at the roads execution is lackluster. The Ministry of Niger Delta, for example, Federal Capital Development Authority. So, it is a question.
I mean, you just talked about the roads, for instance. I mean, do we need a paradigm shift in the way we approach the implementation of the budgets, for instance? Of course, infrastructure is a big priority issue in Nigeria. Yeah. So it sounds a bit funny where you actually have the funds to execute and you're not executing in a very high need area. So what's the way forward here?
No, there are two things. First of all, the cost of roads have gone up. And the roads that are pretty bad and the road infrastructure required is mainly in the southern part of Nigeria where the terrain is very rough and tough. Also, the contractors have to build in, one, the interest costs for delayed payment, two, the new insurance required for security. Everywhere there's been a contract awarded, there's been kidnapping and all of that. So the premium to pay for the experts there have actually become an issue for Nigerian companies.
Okay, let's move on to, I think, again, the priority areas. We know, for instance, the power sector is the big thing right now. Hopefully we're getting to some closure in the execution of that. But then, you know, like I bring up again, a sector like that, that's not an area where you want to see slow progress. This is an area you want to see efficiency. You want to see a quantum leap. So, for instance, in terms of having slow progress in areas like that, I mean, isn't that something that should worry investors?
It should worry investors. Somebody just talked to me a couple of minutes ago about the names that have come out as winners. We're not too sure whether any of them have any track record in power. As a matter of fact, nobody has a track record in power in Nigeria. So when you have 5, 6, 10 Nigerian companies winning bids for power generation, what experience are they going to rely upon? Basically, they're going to farm it out to technical partners again, which puts another layer of expense and another layer of execution. So we wait to see the outcome. A few of those guys are tested in management, in leadership. There's no question, no doubt about that. So they may be able to come through. But I'm not too sure about every one of them. Okay,
of course, another big issue around the budget is the amount of money, the trillions of naira that go into personnel cost. The cost of government continues to be an issue. We're expecting a 2013 budget. Are you expecting any major changes, or do you think the arms of the government are tied in this area?
No, the president said that in the medium-term expenditure framework, it's going down to 68.3% of recurrent from 71, which is about a 3% improvement.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
No, not a whole lot, but 3% of a large amount. The budget itself is about 4.93. Now, but you see, when we take the budget in Nigeria, you're looking at the federal government budget. The federal government accounts for only 45% of total activity. If you take the states individually and collectively, they come to about 55% of total economic activity. So when you're analyzing Nigerian macroeconomic variables, you should look at both combined. The states are not as efficient as the federal government when you're looking at those things. So what do we expect? We expect 2013 to be another tough year in terms of budget implementation and budget execution, but moving in the right direction slowly. The Ministry of Finance has been screaming about this and making a lot of effort to drive things in this direction. However, it takes a long time for the people to have the buy-in, because what you're trying to do The budget is not only an estimate of revenue and expenditure, it's a tool of economic management where you want to alter people's behavior, the consumption behavior, their expenditure behavior, their investment behavior, and their savings behavior. That basically all the functions: consumption function, investment function, savings function, and production function. Those are the things that the budget will seek to achieve. Are we going to achieve it? Yes, we're moving in that direction, but is the impact going to be felt in 2013? I don't think so. The impact will be felt much later.
Well, we certainly hope that they will present this budget soon. I mean, the date was moved forward. We don't know when they're going to present it, but I think there were some hopes raised that we would see this happen early. Now we don't know, but we'll see how it goes.
The budget itself is a proxy war for other things.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fortunately, we can't take it further, but thank you, Bismarck, for joining us on the show today.